Obviously said that you consider you to be monogamous.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that assessment?
Yes, because she's not romantically involved with the other men. I understand the implication that it is sleeping with other men on camera and stuff, but it's more acting. So, other people would say that's cheating. I don't, because it's not romance involved.
Well, it may not necessarily be cheating, but I don't think you can classify what you guys have as monogamy.
And that's totally fine.
We all have our own opinions, but we're just doing it for money and so we can get a place because, we used to work in grocery stores and fast food and we were miserable and broke, $400 a week or something, and could barely eat. And we both have an understanding. One day we were just really broke and had $100, like you said. And I was like, well, what if I work at this club? I know you and I think it's weird. Are you okay with it? I asked him permission before I did any of this.
Hold on.
Nashunabu donated $100. This is my one simp post for Keely. Get a prenup before you get married, just in case.
Okay, stop. Now, the reason he's saying get a prenup is because, listen, this guy's not going to be doing this forever. I don't know about that. He looks pretty whipped. This guy looks like he's been deballed. I don't know how else to say it. He looks like he's lost. Is there a low T problem going on? Something is wrong here. That this guy is able to sit there and now he's validating what she's saying, right? She said, oh no, we consider it monogamy. He comes in and says, well, it's not cheating. There's a difference.
It's acting.
There's different. First of all, is it it's not acting. In fact, at one point in this, they correlate it to film and television. In film and television, let me just say, unless you're doing pornography, you're not actually having sex with the people. When you go watch, The Notebook and you watch the love scene, it's not actually happening, honey. That is acting, okay? That's not the same thing as you actually having sex with other men. I mean, why do I need to delineate this? Are we this brain dead in life and making excuses for what is and what isn't? Notice how he says, though, it's okay because she's not romantically involved. So now you got yourself a red flag girl who's somehow able to detach the sex from emotion on top of it all. Sit back and ask yourself, as a man, what's going on there? What's going on that she's so able to hop in and out of this and hit in and out of that? And I'll tell you what's going on with this guy. This guy is guilty. You see that expression before that we showed? Guilty. You know why he's guilty? Because when they couldn't make ends meet, he didn't step up to the plate and figure something out. Instead, he's letting her do this. He allowed this to happen because it enabled him to take an easier path, right? See, she's saying she went to him. He's not debunking what she's saying and said, oh, we only have $400 a week. That's on you, man. You got to step up, okay? You got to make something happen. I don't know if that means getting a side gig, whatever you got to do. And now you've allowed this to go on and you feel less than, and it's plastered all over your face that you feel shame about this experience. And she's making you go to the whatever podcast to try to defend something that you're embarrassed about. And we can see it. Audience, can you see it in the chat? Do you not see shame on that guy's face? Come on. He looks like he'd rather be anywhere. Take him and waterboard him instead of sitting there and he would be down to do it. Do you not see it? I see it. Okay. Let's go to, now we've decided, can you imagine saying it's monogamous? I still can't get over that. Okay. This is the best. 3507, let's play it.
The prenup makes sense.
Let me ask you a question. If she were to sleep with another man, not within the context of creating adult content, would you have an issue with that?
Yes.
Yeah, of course, because that's actually cheating. But
no, but let's say she doesn't, it's just a one-night stand, she just wanted to fuck, there's no romantic component, there's no emotional component, she just wants to get her rocks off, whatever. Would you have an issue with that?
I wouldn't.
She might not, but would you have an issue with that?
I would have an issue with that, yes. Because that's not for the camera, that's not for making money, that's cheating.
Can I ask out of genuine curiosity, you said telling your story early on that you kind of willfully remain ignorant about this, that you don't want to know what's going on behind the scenes, you don't watch the content, you don't subscribe to the OnlyFans. Do you think that's intentional? There's a part of you that knows something is not quite right about that?
I do think so, yeah. I think there's a part of me that is kind of a little disturbed by it, I'm not going to lie.
Do you think that's because, really, biologically speaking, I studied biomedical sciences, you can't separate the romantic, emotional part of engaging in the most intimate experience that you can with another human being from solely the act of getting a paycheck?
Okay, let's pause that for a second.
Money.
So first of all, do you see his discomfort? He's now admitting his level of discomfort that he's feeling. She probably, his girlfriend, did not plan on him saying that. And you will notice throughout this, what we're going to cover, that she repeatedly interjects. She's answering for him in a lot of cases. Almost like, you ever see those shows where there's like a little girl and the mom? Dance Moms does this all the time. And they interview the girl, and the mom steps in constantly to answer the questions because she doesn't trust what her kid's going to say on camera. She wants to kind of oversee, that helicopter parent. You got a helicopter parent situation going on right there, only it's not parental, or at least it shouldn't be. So he's uncomfortable. He's telling you. He doesn't watch the content. He doesn't get involved in the content. He doesn't help her create the content because there's something a little sick about it. He's at least got that chip still activated. The problem is that his masculinity is no longer intact enough for him to do something about it and to say, this stops today or I get out. I'm going to figure out another plan of a way to make money. I am not comfortable with this. This is disgusting and it's not going to continue. Right? That chip, it's been deadened. Think about like somebody who's drugged and their like nerves get deadened. That's been deadened in that guy. Now, the idea of what that woman who studies biomedical science is saying, there's validity to that. There's a lot of truth scientifically to the fact that, the instinct is to pair that emotion and that romance with the act. But people are getting increasingly deadened to that reality because of the hyper-promiscuity happening in society. So people are actually programming themselves now, mentally, intellectually, to separate the two so that they're able more and more to go into these situations. And even though it's counterintuitive, a lot of them are able to make that break, even though it's not, it's not a full break, by the way. Even if you go into a situation in a hookup culture, by the way, there is some type of energy exchange that happens. Even if you feel completely in control and you walk away and you're not thinking about that person and you're like, I'm a master of this game, you're not, because there is some of it is physical and it's getting to you in some way. You can't be pressed up against somebody's body doing all this stuff. It's very hard to completely have that not enter your energy orbit. That's just a reality. But increasingly people are trying to program themselves to do that. And think about a society that's in decay that is increasingly trying to do that, right? Where sex was once something that you did in order to create another human being. It was intentional. It was with somebody that you planned to have some longevity with. It was something where you could bring life to another person. That's the whole point of sex, right? Pleasure is like kind of like a side angle of it. But procreation is the goal. Not anymore. Now it's all me. Nope, I don't care about you. You're just an object. Just kind of disgusting where we're at in society, to be honest. If you like the short clip and want to watch the full episode, click here. And if you want to connect with me one-on-one on Connect, you're going to click right here. Let's get to talking.